The Hostages and Missing Families Forum say family members of Israeli hostages held in Gaza are following the developments in Doha with deep concern and heavy anxiety. The mother of Israeli hostage Matan Zakuno says the strike serves as a death sentence for her son, adding Netanyahu, quote, essentially executed him. The Israeli Prime Minister says Hamas could end the war immediately.
This action can open the door to an end of the war in Gaza. Israel has accepted the proposal put forward by President Trump to end the war, beginning with the immediate release of all our hostages, which have been held in the dungeons of Gaza for 700 days. If President Trump's proposal is accepted, the war can end immediately.
I'd like to bring in Gil Dickmann. His cousin, Carmel Gat, was a hostage killed in captivity. He joins me now from Tel Aviv. Thanks so much for your time.
Thank you.
So, Gil, what was your immediate reaction when you heard that Israel's Prime Minister had approved a strike in Qatar, a key mediator in the hostage negotiations, in an effort to target the Hamas negotiators? Do you believe this move jeopardized the chances of bringing the other hostages home?
Well, to be honest, the first thing I thought was that I'm very worried about the hostages that are there in Gaza, because this attack puts their lives at a very high risk. We know that Hamas is using these kind of excuses to hurt the hostages, and we urge them not to do so. We know that when Hania was struck just a year ago, my cousin was killed 1 month later. And I really hope that Hamas does not use this as an excuse to hurt the hostages and to even do worse things to them. And I really hope that they're not going to use it as an excuse to hurt the negotiations, to stop the negotiations. And I really don't know whether this attack was, who was really killed there, because Hamas's high leaders were assembling in the building. But I really hope this does not jeopardize the negotiations for an end of the war and a hostage deal, because the most important thing is that we stop this war, we end this war and get the hostages out. That's what we care about. That's what most of the Israelis care about. That's what make us celebrate when we actually end this war and get the hostages out.
And you recently made a direct appeal to the U.S. president. What role do you believe the United States should take right now to help secure a ceasefire and the release of the remaining hostages?
I think we have an opportunity right now because of what Prime Minister Netanyahu said, that this opens the door to end the war. The way I see it, the war has been open for a very long time, and because Hamas has agreed to end this war and get all the hostages out, and Israel has agreed to this, it is time not for doing more of these things, but to get an actual negotiation, a negotiation between Israel and Hamas. It could be with Qatar, it could be with Egypt, it doesn't really matter to us. And I think it is Trump's chance to get this over with, and maybe even his chance of getting a Nobel Peace Prize from this by getting a deal, the ultimate deal between Israel and Hamas, and getting hostages out. My cousin is no longer alive. She was held in captivity until August 2024, when Trump was not in office. He's in office right now, and he can make this deal. Even after what we saw yesterday in this attack in Qatar, I think there is still a chance for a deal, maybe even a bigger chance, because for Netanyahu, this could mean a beautiful end to the war of his side.
Gil, we're just showing a picture of your cousin, Carmel. What do you want the world to know about her? Not just how she died, but how she lived.
Carmel was a beautiful person, and she had the power within her to be strong for the sake of others. She was in captivity with 2 youngsters, and she was doing yoga with them in captivity to try to keep them safe and secure, and their soul as well as their bodies healthy in captivity as much as she could. And I really want us to look at her and see the woman that were strong enough to try and look for others who needed her help. That's what we need to do right now, to look at the people who need most of our help. This is the innocent people who are held in captivity, 48 people are held in captivity. You saw the pictures of Eviatar David, who was held without any food, being starved by Hamas. Look at him and make whatever effort you can to make sure he has food and is released by Hamas as quickly as possible. You can't, for Carmel, it's too late. It's not too late for Eviatar and for all the other hostages. That's the most important thing.
And Gil, just finally, you've been outspoken about the government of Israel. Has Prime Minister Netanyahu failed you, failed your cousin, failed other hostages like her?
Netanyahu failed us. He failed me personally, and he failed Carmel because she was murdered in captivity, and he had chances to get her out. And for me, it's an ultimate failure. But 48 hostages are still there, and he has maybe the last chance not to fail them as well. So I urge him, finish this, end this war. We don't want to see any more horrible pictures from Gaza of hostages being starved and maybe even being killed, like happened to my sister, to my cousin. End this war. Get the hostages out. This is your last chance.
Gil Dickmann in Tel Aviv, we really appreciate your time. We are so sorry for your loss. Thank you very much.